supposed to do, oh yeah. If you toss and then you turn and then you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye. Can't count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Welcome to all of us all of you who have joined us today as we celebrate the opening of the Rockwood Boys and Girls Club. Many of us woke up today with the news of yet another national tragedy in Las Vegas. And while we do not know the facts or the why, most of us have been emotionally affected by yet another news story. And while we all got this news, some of us were digesting the news of an incident 3 blocks away from this club. It was a domestic violence situation that caused the school to go into lockdown and eventually close for today. As we reflect and take a pause, I would like us to take a moment and ask ourselves, how do we, as supportive adults, show up in a time when youth need us the most? The Boys and Girls Club is one of the few spaces where youth will be encouraged to process, to navigate and discuss real-life situations with caring adults who will assist them in their development while still allowing them to choose their own path. As we live in a world and a community where adverse childhood experiences are more recognizable, we at the Boys and Girls Club strive to reverse the negative impact and create new memories and healthy environments that will contribute to the success of our youth. The Boys and Girls Club, in this place behind me, will serve as a safe place for youth and families to connect to communities that serve them and will continue for years to come. And thanks to those who have generously invested in this building, we thank you for that. And as we stand here today to mark a moment in time to recognize and acknowledge those individuals who contributed in any way, shape, or form to this amazing facility in Rockwood, I have the privilege of introducing one of those individuals. So join me in welcoming the Mayor of Gresham, Mr. Shane Bemis.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor. This is the mayor of the Boys and Girls Club. I was instructed last week What a beautiful day. Thank you all for being here. This is truly one of the best days that I've had in public service, because I think about everything that this club means. And so many people have worked so hard on this since the beginning. And I want to let's give a special shout out to the city councilors that are here today. Councilor Carolyn Eccles is with us, and Councilor Kirk French is here. Okay, and I think a couple of the other ones are traveling. I know they all wanted to be here, but I mentioned that because this council has been incredibly focused on finding ways that we can connect with youth and children and families in this city. And so when this property became available to us, and we thought about all of the things that it could become and what it is today, it became pretty clear that we had to find a way to make this happen. I can't thank the Boys and Girls Club enough, Aaron Hubert, Tracy Rose, your entire team. I've been fortunate enough to be mayor for a while, and so we've gone through some societal changes, some changes and shifts in poverty. And there was a while where we were standing around this area going, holy cow, we're kind of on our own. And how are we going to get to some of the issues that are going on with generational poverty, with crime? And that's when we really depended on Boys and Girls Club, Friends of the Children, Open School, Rosemary Anderson, all of the social service networks that started to come together to start to make this happen. And you know what? You're having obviously a positive impact. The Oregonian said that this neighborhood was the fourth hottest real estate market in all of Portland, had a 20% year-over-year increase in property value. So you're already starting to make a difference to the neighborhood. But more than that, we know that oftentimes kids, when they're in poverty, they can't see past the first 2 or 3 blocks that they're in. This place will give them that opportunity to come together, to see the world, to see people, to continue to work towards a better humanity, which we know as we woke up this morning, we got some work to do with that. But this is a wonderful, wonderful facility. It's going to change lives. We know that already has, and I am just thankful to all of you. There are so many people. I'll look out on all of the people. I know that you all had a piece of this. This community had a piece of this. The community came together and said, we can do better, and they're continuing to do that. So thank you all to everyone on behalf of the Gresham City Council, the residents of Gresham. What a fabulous day, and welcome, Boys and Girls Club. Thank you.
I have to drag her up here, she won't come. Hi, everybody. I'm Erin Hubert, the CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Portland. This is our wonderful board chair, Shannon Inyukai Cuffey, her father is the reason that I became involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs. I joined the board years ago, and he is no longer with us. And he was our board chair at one point, and now Shannon is, so it's just really beautiful. And we've got a number of people to thank. Thank you, Mayor, for your wonderful words. His vision for this neighborhood, and when he came to me about locating here, is really making the change that you just spoke to. It's such a privilege to be involved with the mayor and the city leaders out here. I know Eric Kavarston, Rachel Fuller, and I think Josh Fuhrer with us, along with the city council. I can't say enough about what amazing partners the city of Gresham has been to work with, and I'm not sure we hear municipals talked about that way, but they're remarkable people, and they remove hurdles and they make things easy, and they just care so much about this community. So really, really grateful. I know we have other elected leaders here. We have former Multnomah County Chair Diane McKeel. Is there anybody else? Wave your hand that I'm missing. It is rather remarkable that we're here on a day like this after what we heard in the news this morning, and just if we let ourselves be divided in the country we live in right now, we don't get moments like this. And so this is a poignant, beautiful moment today. And to me, the hands of the logo of the Boys and Girls Clubs down there and the hands coming together really signifies unity and teamwork and working together and all that stands for good in our world and coming together. And so I just think it's actually extra poignant to be here together today as a village and as a community that has made this happen, and cry foul on what happened this morning, and that we're just not going to let that keep happening. So it's an honor to be here with all of you. The one little thing I want to point out, this is really about thanking people, and I'm going to ask for your patience because it gets a little tedious for all the thank yous, but it's just really important to recognize a lot of important people that made today happen. The one little plug I want to put out there is sometimes you get involved with projects that are really important that aren't on maybe a timetable that you would have chosen for yourself. And we still have about $3 million we need to raise to pay for the construction of this building. We have a loan, so we're okay on cash, don't worry. But we still have $3 million in pledges that we need to do to raise to get it. And by participating in a partnership like what this campus represents, to have open school, alternative school next to us, New Avenues for Youth will have their homeless youth services in our building right there. That we hope that there's a preschool early childhood provider in that structure right over there, and then we have the field, the timbers and thorns donated to us. And when you put a collaboration like that together and you join forces with partners, it's a beautiful thing, but you don't always get to follow the timetable. So not the best thing for the CEO trying to figure out another way to get $3 million in the door for this while the club is opening next week. So please put it out there that we're still raising some money. I could really use your help on that. So just wanted to plug that for everybody. Shannon's going to call out a few people for us.
Give Aaron a little break, and I have the privilege to thank the Catalyst co-chairs that were the fundraising committee, and that is Eric Krieger and Multnomah County Sheriff Mike Reese. So just like to really thank them. And then I'd just like to thank all of my fellow board members and have them all stand and be acknowledged for all their vision and leadership in this project. So if you are a board member, please stand up.
Wave your hand.
Deanna's already standing. Wave. Thank you so, so much. Thank you very much.
On our board, I'm just going to list the ones who are here today. David Anderson, Brock Bishop, Ashley Campion, Mike Krebs, Shannon and Yukai Cuffey, Amber Jones, Eric Krieger, Rodrigo Lopez, Dan Mock, Ken O'Neill, Terry Porter, Julio Quinteros, Tim Rippey, Mike Reese, Adrian Rourke, Celeste Rose, Alok Shah, Deanna Sherbeck, Jared Short, Niall Travers, Bill Valek, Terry Porter, and Tim Duzois. I just thank you all for being here today. And then also, I just want to point out two angels who really, really were the force that made this happen out here, and were dogs with bones. Ashley Campion with the Johnson Charitable Trust, and Tracy Rose, who at the time was with the Trailblazers, came to me 2 weeks into my job at the Boys and Girls Clubs. You always start a new job, and it's way more than you think, and I had my hands full. We had a lot to turn around and get stabilized coming out of a recession. And they told me about a property that was out here that was in pretty rough shape. Could we take it over? And it's where Friends of the Children actually are now, a few blocks away. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine right now with as full as our hands are, except I knew we really needed to be out here. And they convened a meeting with Greg Chalet, who used to run the Oregon Community Foundation, and Duncan Campbell, who runs Friends of the Children. And we all met literally almost 5 years to the day over at the old PAL site, the Police Activities League site, trying to figure out how in the world do we get a youth development organization out here serving this community. After school is the roughest hours for kids. It's when they get into trouble, and there had to be something out here. And they literally made it happen. Ashley's foundation stepped up and gave us some money 5 years ago so we could operate in schools when the PAL club shut down. And those two really made it happen, and I just shout out to them, shout out to Greg Chalet and Duncan Campbell. It starts with them, and I will never, never forget that. And now I'd like to invite the Senator and Representative Peluso and Representative Gorsuch up to say a few words.
I was instructed only 1 minute. I am so excited about this. East County has needed something for its youth, and we are slowly beginning to meet the needs that our youth need. It's hard to get money to come to our own areas as a senator and representatives. And what we did is the city of Gresham, Eric Chambers, the mayor, said, hey, let's bring some legislators here. Well, the chair of the Ways and Means Committee, they are the ones that control the money, came out here and met at the precinct right here on 181st. And Senator Devlin did a ride-along with the police to get a feel for what this is like. And that's why we were so successful in bringing in money. We brought in money for a number of different gang prevention, a number of different issues. So again, don't be afraid to ask us. You never know, we can maybe help out, all right? Anyway, thank you for you all for coming. This is just a wonderful event.
Thank you so much for everybody that's here today. And I have to say, this is awesome. Look around you. This is our community. And too often, we kind of get the shorter end of the stick when people are talking about East County. Rockwood is awesome. So is Gresham, Troutdale, Wood Village, Fairview, East Portland. Well, we can bring them in too. So I'm from just north of here, about 5 blocks, District 49. And I just want to tell you, the senator's right. So often, we run into this situation where they go, oh, you know, I know you legislators would like to help, but there's really nothing that we can do. And, you know, that's because of this silo is the word. You know, we're all in different silos. In this case, we were able to work with Gresham and work with the Boys and Girls Clubs and work with law enforcement, everybody to be able to bring some money to this project. And I have to tell you, as a teacher, which is what I do at Mount Hood, I'm waiting to see these kids in a good way, in a very, very good way. And one last thing, because I know you don't want to listen to me all day. This place used to be what? Yes, it was a nursery, right? And people would come here and they would get plants and they would take them home and grow them. Now it's growing something different, but it is gonna grow dreams and futures and wonderful things for our community. So thank you all for being here.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Carla Peluso, and I am thrilled to be here this afternoon. I got to tell you, about a year and maybe a half ago, I was sitting with Aaron at the Meyer Memorial Lentz Boys and Girls Club, and we were closing it. And that was devastating to our community. It was devastating to those kids. But collectively, we made a commitment and a promise that we would open a brand new Boys and Girls Club right here on this site. And I would like a round of applause for each and every one of you who made that come true. Oftentimes it appears we do maybe second best for our kids. This is a #1 top dog for our kids, to help our kids to grow strong and replace us in what we do. And again, it is a gift to this community. It is a gift to Rockwood. It is a gift to Oregon. And again, I want some more applause. So I'm a big fan of Walt Disney. And if you remember, when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. We've been wishing and hoping and trying and working hard to make that dream come true for the kids of Rockwood, for the kids of Gresham, for the kids of Troutdale, for the kids of Fairview, for the kids of Wood Village, for the kids of Portland. And again, it is an honor and a privilege to be a part of that success, but equally you hold the same amount of honor and privilege to be a part of this team. So again, thank you so much. Thank you to the Boys and Girls Club. It is fabulous being here.
What Senator Manis Anderson and Representative Peluso did for us is they went to the state of Oregon on behalf of this district and got $1 million gift for this facility, which is really pretty unheard of because there's amazing projects being done in this state all the time, and it's pretty hard to do one and not them all. But what it really signified was the relevance of this community and its importance to get the livability back in an inclusive and inviting way, and they've done that. And what we really see is the impact Rockwood has on Multnomah County, our biggest county, the impact it has on its sister city, Portland, and the impact it has on the state. And that's really telling. And so we're just so grateful to them in that early gift. We also got the very first early gift we got was from the Williams Family Foundation, the Swindells Family Foundation. Ann and Bill Swindells, good friends, and I call them Williams, gave us $1 million early on. I have an identical twin sister. She's here today, so don't get confused. She and I worked for them for Willamette Industries, the company they started, in college, and we were able to pay for college and graduate debt-free thanks to Willamette Industries. And so they gave us the $1 million, and they never will take recognition. That's just not their way. And so what I talked them into doing is to put up a plaque that recognizes Willamette Industries, because it was a very special company in our region for a long time. It got hostilely taken over by another lovely company, Weyerhaeuser. But anyway, so that Willamette Industries will live on here forever. We have a plaque that will go here and on Stark. So really grateful to the Swindells. Bill Jr. and Bill number 3, I call him number 3, couldn't be here today, but I know that they're really, really excited about this club. The other partner who has been really, really meaningful, and our board member Mike Kiwawa couldn't be here today, is Precision Cast Parts and PCC Structurals. They're very unsung heroes in this community in the work that they do to support so many organizations, and you just never hear about it because that's how they roll. But they have supported us in huge ways and for our children for years and years, and they put a really significant gift into this club. So again, they've been a big part of this. Also, the Johnson Charitable Trust that I mentioned, Ashley Campion has been a big contributor, and we have the Johnson Teen Center, thanks to the Johnson Charitable Trust, that you'll see. It will take your breath away when you go inside, that they've made possible. She and Tracy's leadership, and I would like both Ashley and Tracy actually to come up really quickly and say a few words. Sorry, you gotta. I hired Tracy Rose from the Blazers. We needed her so much.
So I was trying to figure out how long ago it was that Tracy and I came out here to meet for an hour. Our friends at POIC had told us about what was going on in Rockwood. And we met for an hour, and I went back through my emails today, and that was 5 years ago on October 9th. I shot Tracy an email, and I said, I like what we're cooking up. And I think we decided to invite, we had this idea that maybe we could do something out here, and we decided to invite the smartest people we know together. That was Greg Chalet, Duncan Campbell, and Aaron Hebert. And we gathered together, it was raining inside, and we said, what can we do? And we made a vow on that day to leave this place better than we found it. And it's easy to dream and have ideas, but it's hard to see them through. And I can't say enough about the inspiration of leaders in our community like Greg Chalet, who all of you know is an amazing force in our community. But the spirit of service and the yes you can attitude is so amazing. Duncan Campbell, and then there's Aaron. This project would not be possible without Aaron Hubert, plain and simple. Day in and day out, she has done something that's sort of unprecedented in the nonprofit community by bringing all of us together. And I look around and I see a veritable army of kindness here in a world that needs it so much. There's so many, this didn't happen without each and every one of you that's here today. And with leadership like Aaron's to bring the partners together, the city, the funders, the kids, to make something that's worthy of the children. And I think you've built that here today. And thanks to everybody on all the boards and everybody here. And Tracy.
I'm looking, but I don't see him yet. I know he's on his way. Is Terry Porter here yet? Terry? He's on his way. He's coming. I like to kind of credit this whole vision of to Terry and to the Trailblazers. I know that I have Trailblazer friends here that are incredibly generous and have a huge piece of my heart. I was with the Blazers when we built the Blazers Boys and Girls Club, and when Ashley and I had our visit 5 years ago out here, I knew immediately that what was needed was a Boys and Girls Club. And I also knew that a very dear friend of mine had just taken over at the Boys and Girls Club, and I knew Erin can fix anything. So we called her, and we are here today, and I'm just really overwhelmed. It's kind of like all my worlds are colliding, and my very patient husband who let me leave the Trailblazers to raise $10 million. But to have the Blazers here today, my new best friends, PNC Construction, the city of Gresham, everybody that has had something to do with this building. I know you're hearing a lot of thank yous, but this has just been a really wonderful dream come true. And I just want you all to take a look around at everybody in blue shirts. It's really my greatest privilege to work alongside these people that change lives every day.
We have a little gift. Hold on, wait, one more. Okay. Thank you both very much. I really get in trouble for always wearing my sunglasses. So they're off, Tracy and my husband, so you don't have to yell at me afterwards. Sorry. I have sensitive eyes. Thank you both so very much. The other person that we are going to bring up is also very special to the organization, Jorge. Jorge, I have to say your last name right, Casamirio. Thank you, I always stumble on it. Nike. Nike has been a huge supporter of the Portland Boys and Girls Clubs for a number of years, and also at the national level. They do so much for us. They send us, anytime they have furniture or anything for a club that we need, they just call up and give it to us. They're so incredible. And they have donated a tremendous amount of resources to create the Nike Gym. And so the gym is known for Nike, and the Teen Center is known for the Johnson Family Foundation. And Kathy Webb and Deanna Sherbeck, who's on our board from Nike, have been angels with the archangel here with Jorge in coming forth and making the gym possible. And you're going to be pretty impressed when you see it too. And so Jorge, I'd love you to come up and say a few words.
Hello, Rockwood. What weather, huh? Incredible. Thank you, Erin. Thank you to all of our elected officials. Thanks for everyone who made today possible. One of the reasons we do events like this is because we believe in the power of community. We believe in coming together. And it's important to bring voice and to have a voice when we come together for a community. That's what we're here to. That's why we're here. We give speeches, but it's really representative of every single person, every effort that has gone into this amazing day and this amazing facility. And it truly is a team sport. It takes community to make a difference, to create impact, to build community. And that's what we're celebrating today. I've got a couple of things I'm going to say, but if there's one thing you remember those kids who were singing here and clapping? Remember that feeling that you had when you were looking at them? You were smiling, you were giggling. Are they on beat? Are they off beat? But those smiles were incredible. That's what we're here to celebrate. That's the potential that we're here to celebrate. As Erin said, we've had a relationship with the Boys and Girls Club of Portland for a very long time, going back to the mid-90s. And since the beginning, we've partnered with them on youth programming to bring health, physical activity, and wellness to kids. And it's something that we've done on the national level and right here in our own backyard. The Rockwood Boys and Girls Club is a truly shining example of a continued partnership and our shared commitment to health, vitality, and success for future generations. We've always believed in the unifying power of sport to bring people together and to help kids reach their greatest potential. So for all of us, for this community, this is the physical manifestation of that. This is a huge, huge moment, and we are incredibly proud. I'm not the only person here from Nike. Half of our team from Nike is here because they wanted to be here. They wanted to see what this community looks like in action. And I started with the kids. I'm going to end with one big thank you to the people who make it possible. Imani, the entire staff who we entrust our kids to every single day. They're the ones who are going to be here after the microphones come down, after the camera crews leave, when repairs have to be made, when something has to be cleaned up. It's going to be Imani and this team who's going to be entrusted with the welfare of our kids and with building this community. So on behalf of Nike, thanks to all of you. Thank you.
It's getting kind of cold, so we'll hurry here. Jorge, thank you. Where's Kathy Webb? Wave. Kathy and Deanna, you guys, the other Nike Angels, thank you so much. They all organized last winter in a pouring down rainy day, a big meeting, and they got a bus full. They rented a big fancy limousine bus filled with Nike employees. These are people who are out in Beaverton in Washington County. That alone strikes me. Took the bus full of people out here. Betty Dominguez with Home Forward did a wonderful tour around the whole Rockwood community to show them what's going on out here. And then we came and had a meeting over at Open School and then stood on this site. It was a giant mud hole and took a picture. And it's just the commitment from an organization like Nike and what they have done all the way, an hour away from where they are, I think just really says a lot. So thank you both so much, all of you. I think CJ McCollum is going to be with us. I don't know if he's here yet. CJ, there you are. You snuck in. Hello. We have a very special guest, our favorite trailblazer. I didn't see you come in. Welcome. Good. How are you? Just a few things about CJ, and then he's going to say a few words. First of all, this is a remarkable basketball player. I don't need to tell you that. We see it all the time. This is a really remarkable young man and what he has done to embrace our community. He's a remarkable son because I've met his mama, and she's pretty sweet. She's done a great job raising him. And just a really remarkable angel for the Boys and Girls Club's children. He put in a dream center at our Blazers Club last year and recreated a room for these children to go in and imagine and dream their futures and what they could be like with all sorts of technology and different things. And he's going to be putting in a dream center here in this club. You'll see it when you go on tour. It's not in yet. It's happening post-construction. But he is creating dreams for thousands of children in this community, and I just think that's really remarkable. So welcome, CJ.
Sorry. Thank you, guys. First and foremost, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of the grand opening for the Rockwood Boys and Girls Club. It's a privilege and an honor to be a professional athlete, and we have an incredible platform, so I try to take advantage of it and give back what I can when I can. But I remember what it was like growing up in Canton, Ohio, and needing the community centers, needing the Boys and Girls Clubs as an escape, as an outlet from my day-to-day problems, day-to-day lifestyle issues as a young minority growing up in an underprivileged neighborhood. So I appreciate the staff, I appreciate the Boys and Girls Clubs, and I know what it means to these kids because it does provide them with an outlet, it provides them with assistance, it provides them with educational opportunities to experience things they wouldn't normally experience in their day-to-day lifestyle. So I thank you guys for that, and I'm happy I could be a part of all of this. And I'm sure the kids are going to learn a lot from some of the programming they'll have here at the Boys and Girls Clubs, and I look forward to installing another C.J. McCollum Dream Center. So I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be a part of all of this, for allowing me to come, for allowing me to put money and put different things into these rooms, because I realize how important the future is for some of these kids. So thank you guys once again, and I always say it, we come from different walks of life, we come from different backgrounds, different ethnic groups and cultures, but we all have a platform to use, so it's important that we give what we can when we can. And we all have different incomes and salaries and things of that nature. So maybe it's your presence being there, maybe it's you giving money when the opportunity presents itself, but just remember to give what you can when you can. Thank you.
Thank you so much, CJ. Few other people I want to also thank, and we may have a teen who's going to come and speak with us if we can get here in time, so we're going to cross our fingers on that. I want to recognize the Epping Family Foundation. We have Gary Epping with us over here, and Vern, who works with him. His sister Sean couldn't be with us. Just want to thank you for your many gifts to this facility as well as our organization. Want to thank the Portland Timbers and the Thorns. We had a field dedication last week over the soccer field. You have to check it out, just kind of kitty corner over there that they've put in a futsal court. It was an incredibly special day to get the court in there. People may not be aware, but there aren't a ton of green spaces and areas for children to play out in this community for a number of different reasons. So to get that green space, that space was donated by the city. The Timbers and Thorns donated the futsal court, and when this campus isn't using it, it will be open to the whole community. And we were able to unveil last week and surprise him. It is going to be forever known as Bemis Court in honor of Mayor Bemis. And I don't know if Terry and Susie Porter have gotten here yet. Terry is on our board. Terry is a Boys and Girls Clubs of America Hall of Famer, which is a really, really big deal at the national level. And his contributions to this organization, as Tracy said, started actually back with the Blazers Boys and Girls Club. He and Jerome Kirsty. Jerome's here in spirit. He was a big part of this as well. And so we're just really grateful to Terry. We also have a very special guest with us, Grace Stratton from Senator Ron Wyden's office. Senator Wyden has been a huge advocate for us, for the clubs. He'll come and he'll say, Aaron, what do you need? What can I do? What do I need to do on the Hill for you? He has been wonderful. Grace, who is his representative here, is quite amazing. We've tried to hire her 10 times. It hasn't worked. We really love her. And she has something special to present for the clubs from the senator. There she is. Oh, you're warm. You
I
feel
know.
good.
It's really nice and toasty over there.
It's cold over
Which
here.
is why I'm hanging on my jacket. Aaron, thank you, and thank you for all the offers to come and work for you. But I must say, it's an honor to represent Senator Wyden. I cover Multnomah County, and a big benefit of that is getting to work with incredible people like Aaron and the Boys and Girls Club, and all of the people here. I'm looking out and seeing a lot of familiar faces. It's really the folks here and on the ground that keep me hopeful for our future. I get asked a lot of times, what's it like? How is it? And I say, well, really, it is challenging in DC, but really there's a lot of good things happening in our communities every day. And we need to really be focusing and remembering that and honoring that like we're doing today. So thank you. So without further ado, Aaron, I'd like to present a flag that has been flown over the Capitol in recognition of the special grand opening of the Rockwood Boys and Girls Club, and included is a personal letter from Senator Wyden congratulating you and all of the partners here today for all the incredible work and effort you've put in to make this possible. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Liz. Really appreciate it. This is cool. Flew over the Capitol. The kids will love that, let me tell you. They'll think that's really cool. Thank you. It was so cute. A couple of years ago, the senator came over to our Meyer Club in Sellwood for a visit with the kids, and Terry Porter was there too. And the kids know Terry played basketball for the Blazers. They don't remember him because it was before their time. But Senator Wyden played basketball. And poor Terry, they were lined up for Senator's autograph and hanging out with him. Terry got pushed to the side. I just thought that was so cute. So, thanks for the flag, Senator. Okay, a few more people I want to recognize. Bear with me. I appreciate it. I'll go through this quickly. But there are a number of people who collectively raised probably close to $2 million for this organization, a number of foundations, the M.J. Murdoch Charitable Trust, the Collins Foundation, the Joseph E. Weston Foundation, Maybelle Clark McDonald Fund, which, by the way, until the end of the year, for every $5,000 that's given, it's matched by the Maybelle Clark McDonald Fund up to 100 grand. We're at 50 grand, so we just need 50 more. So there's a match. Oregon Community Foundation, the Wells Fargo Foundation, the Standard Foundation, Quest Foundation, Kroger Foundation and Fred Meyer, Sunderland Foundation, the PGE Foundation, and the Spirit Mountain Community Fund, all really special organizations that have done so much. Also want to thank Windermere Realty, who helped make our kitchen a reality. We cook chef-prepared hot meals for the kids every day in the club, as well as a snack. And in the summer, we feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the open school will be using our kitchen and gym during the mornings, and we'll be feeding lunch. So Windermere helped make that possible. Also, Comcast and Rodrigo Lopez, who's on our board, and Rebecca's here, have done so much for the organization. Few individuals brought Bishop. He's sitting over here with Gary, Roy Asbar, Joan Albertson. Where's our Joan? Where's our sweet Joan? Joan, you're supposed to be sitting up here, young lady. Joan is such a champion for this community, and we got to meet her when this club started, and she has just quietly given and given and given so much, and I just am so honored to know you, Joan. Thank you very much. Another person that we really have to stop down and recognize, he is the chair of our Pace Setters group. Pace Setters are our former board members. John Herman. John Herman has been involved with our organization this year 50 years, and he doesn't look like it at all. John has opened the door to so many of the gifts that we've given. He's given so much of himself. This is the John Herman flagpole right here that he made possible. And I can't thank him enough, along with our co-chairs, Eric Krieger and Mike Reese, for everything that they've done. Thank you, John. You are just an inspiration. I also want to recognize another really long-time supporter, 32 years involved with the organization, was on the board. John used to be a board chair. This beautiful woman was on our board. Her family has supported the clubs for years. Patty Babler and her wonderful husband, Lloyd. Patty flew up all the way from California just to be here for this weekend. Patty, I want you to stand up and say hello. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And we also have another very special friend with us today, Maxine Chapini. Maxine, I need you to stand up because she's little. There we go. Welcome, Maxine. Maxine's husband, Roy Chapini, was the executive director, CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Portland for 30 years and started in the Phoenix area with Boys and Girls Clubs. And he recently passed away in March, and he was one of our pace setters and a really dear friend and meant the world to us. And there was a plaque for Roy at our Meyer Club in Selwood, and we no longer have a club there. We moved it, and we're in Oak Grove now. And so I asked Roy before he passed away where he thought he might like to have that plaque. And he thought it'd be really nice to have it out at the Rockwood Club. So we have it hanging sort of there, I think. You'll see it when you go through and tour. And I want to get a picture of you, Maxine, with his plaque. I know he's shining down. Also, we need to call out a major, major thank you to St. Orville Alleman. Where's Orville? There's Orville. Stand up, Orville. Stand up. Ugh. Orville is one of our pace setters, was on the board for years, and he's the project manager for this whole club. He has built schools and been in the construction business for years. And also Arlene, his beautiful wife, who's been so patient for us, hogging his time over the past few years. He lives in Hillsborough, so he has spent a lot of time driving a lot of miles to get out here. And we love Orville. We call him St. Orville in the office, and we just love his tenacity, his generosity, and I really love it when he gets mad and he gets feisty. He's just so cute and fun to work with. So, he thinks he can scare me, but he can't. Also, a big shout out to PNC Construction, who built this club. They are wonderful to work with. I can't tell you the number of concessions that they made on our behalf and their patience with our timeline, start, stop, just because there were so many moving parts to this project. And they have been remarkable to work with and have done a lot of favors for us that they didn't have to do. And we're very, very appreciative, along with the vision of Holst Architecture. We have Kim and Eric in the crowd, so thank you. And Brian and Jason from PNC. Just everybody wave your hand. So there we go. So appreciate you guys. We also have a representative from Boys and Girls Clubs of America here, a gentleman that I get the privilege to work with closely, our regional vice president. His name is Joe Angolia, and he's here all week for some different meetings. And he is a treat for me to work with because he ran clubs up in Washington, and he's way smarter than I am. And he just teaches me stuff all the time. So Joe, say hello. Thank you for being here. And like Tracy did, I want to call out our staff. The one you'll see them all in the blue shirts. I can't say enough about this group in building this club. When you build a new club like this, it's sort of like having a new sibling with a family of 6 or 7 kids, and that new sibling comes along and gets all the attention. And this sibling's been getting a lot of attention for a while. And I just can't say enough about the staff who are running their own clubs and have such full plates. That's the thing in nonprofits. You just really have full plates with never enough resources. They have been ready to chip in on everything. And there's just such a great team. The spirit out here today and everybody taking a job and getting it done. It just, and as Jorge said so eloquently, they do such amazing work in the clubs. I can't even begin to tell you the heroic work they do. What it takes to run a club today, in today's world, and we don't need to expand on what that might mean in today's world, but the number of staff that it takes to manage the children, way more than it ever used to be. That costs a lot more money. The kind of programs, the intentional programs and the curriculum it takes, way more intense and intentional, but we still got to be fun. Adverse childhood experiences. I'm not sure anybody really heard of that decades ago. Trauma-informed care. Those are the things that our club staff are doing and being trained on. The resources and what it takes to serve children and keep them safe today is remarkably different, and I can't say enough. And our staff see some pretty tough situations, and they have their own trauma that they go through. So it is pretty heroic what they do, and I can't say enough. And I just want to call out our staff members that are here really fast. I'm going to do it fast. Amber Barnes, Shalito Barris Paul, Megan Cole, Judy Cushing. Judy is filling in for us. She used to run Lines for Life. She's going to be she's getting the rest of that $3 million for us. Grace Deal, Mike Fisher, Melissa Froman, Ken Harris, Matthew Hetty, Loka Hanna, Kelsey Kuhnhausen, Stephanie Lindstrom, Imani Mohammed, our incredible fearless leader, along with her, Ruby Gastelum Plata. Both Imani and Ruby will be the force running out here. Imani is actually one of our senior directors of programming, so she's a top dog with programming for the whole organization. But she is committed to stay out here for a year to get this club up and running and really entrenched before on top of everything else she does. And she runs athletics before we put a permanent club director out here. And so she and Ruby are going to be quite the team. Tristan Penn, Sarai Rodriguez, Tracy Rose, Rachel Schutz, Colleen Showalter. Also former staff with us, Carrie Ann Walton and Natalie Whistler. I don't know if you're here, but they were also instrumental in making this club happen. So it's really worth pointing them out and their importance to us. And then our pace setters that we have with us, we have a few besides Patty and John. We also have Patty Warner, Dave Emery, and Maxine, who I mentioned in Roy's honor. And then we have associate board members. These are our up-and-coming board members, the board members of the future. Amber Jones, who just joined our board, came from our associate board, so that was pretty cool. We have Shiraz Bengali, Nick Hubert, Trevor Smith, and Tyler Jakes. So my thanks to our associate board and everything that they do. And then I would just say that anybody in this crowd, there's a lot of friends here, a lot of friends of mine, friends of other people. I think my friends see me coming anymore and they run for the hills because it's like, oh, what is she gonna want now? I thank you for those who've made it out here today. I want to also point out Pat Rose, Tracy's husband, who's probably donated 2,000 hours to our organization the last 2 years, just working in maintenance with Mike Fisher and Jeffrey Cook. Mike Fisher, back sitting there, has broken his back on this club. Can't say enough about that. And I got to do a quick, it's really self-serving, but shout out to my husband, Stan. They don't make him like him anymore. He's pretty remarkable. So thank you, Stan, for all your support.
We want to bring up Elijah Dorn, who will tell a little bit about himself. So let's give a round of applause for Elijah as he comes to the stage.
This question was posed to me the other day saying, why is it important for Boys and Girls Clubs to be in a community? And in my opinion, these clubs mean a lot to a lot of people. They mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to my family because they've supported us through many, many things, many opportunities like this one. And being able to share everything and everyone who was in the club, especially the one at Waddles, that's like my favorite one. I went there as a little kid. I went there over the summer, and nothing's changed. It's always great. The kids are great. Everything is just remarkable, in my opinion. And I just want to say thank you to them because they help me as a person. They help me with my responsibilities. They help me with leadership, especially time management. Anything you can think of, this A-okay to me. It's also very important because it's a lot of children nowadays, they get caught up in lots of bad behavior, I'd say. And it's very important for them to have like someone to grasp them and to show them the right path without their parents being there, if you know what I'm saying. So these staff here, they're here for many of reasons, like just like being able to, yeah, like I said, show leadership skills. They help you with homework. They give great service to the people around them, especially families and everything. Another thing I'd say is it's a very great atmosphere there, not judgmental at all, in my opinion. The teen room is probably one of my favorite rooms because it's a place where I can be myself. You know, I can get away from all the little children. You know, I mean, I love them. I really do. I love them. I love them to death. They love me. They really are great, and they they really do offer really great service, in my opinion. The children there, they're very unique. They're very special. Their own mindset. I just love it. And I would say one of them's names. I don't remember their name though, but they're just cute to me. Even at the age of 17, like I am now, I mean, I only can go there for another year until I'm 18, but that's probably, Watto's Boys and Girls Club is probably one of the most inspirational and a place where I would definitely dedicate my time to. Honestly, I would definitely dedicate my time to there. Not only as a staff member, but as a teen, you know, just going there, helping out the kids, like with, like, community service for an opinion. Like helping out with the community around them, being able to show and be themselves. Boys and Girls Clubs like this one, for instance, is a really great place for them to be themselves. They don't have to act a certain kind of way. They can be honest. They can trust one another. It's honestly great to me. And I just want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of this amazing looking Boys and Girls Club here, and just thank you.
Good job. Thank you, Elijah. True words from the heart, for sure. At this time,
Couple more.
just kidding.
Sorry, Monty. One thing I wanted to recognize is all of our public safety officers with us today from the Portland Police, the Gresham Police, and Multnomah County. Thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate you. Also, Terry Porter is now in the house. Welcome, Terry. Thank you. We were bragging about you earlier. Yeah, for everything you do. And you're going to bring up the kids?
Yeah, absolutely. So at this very special moment, we are standing in between the City of Roses and the City of Gresham. But we would be remiss to not give respect and credit where credit is due. So I would like to bring my blue shirts, Team Blue, to the front, please. Team Blue, you know who you are. Come to the front. And at this time, we've heard a few names be mentioned, but I speak on behalf of everyone in this blue shirt to give credit to two individuals who we call our own City of Roses, our own roses in our organization. So we would like to personally give a shout out to Miss Erin Hubert on behalf of your staff.
Oh my gosh.
And Miss Tracy Rose, who Matthew Hetty is bringing a pot of I think they're called double roses, for our double roses that we have. But this will go planted here at Rockwood in honor of Miss Tracy Rose, because many of us would not be here without her hard work and dedication. And of course, our fearless leader, as we call Miss Erin Hubert. So thank you.
Silly goose.
So at this time, we would like to invite everyone, come cut the ribbon so we can enter into the Rockwood Boys and Girls Club.